Dr. Brown's son eventually moved on to more serious drugs when he was a freshman in college. His family tried their best to help him control the addiction. He could control it for a while, but he always relapsed. At the end of each cycle, he would be in an even worse situation.
So when he had to withdraw from school, that was a big shock for him, because he didn't, that was his status in life, and he was going to college, and, all his other friends were still in college, and he just kind of went crazy. We found out he was also using opiate pills. And then we found out that he was starting to use heroin, and he was starting to inject heroin. So it was very, very quick, from going to college, going into these other drugs, and then becoming a full-blown heroin addict.
He ended up also developing drug-induced psychosis and was sent to mental health institutions for a while. After being arrested for driving under the influence, his mother discovered a surprising fact about him.
I was really worried. I hired a lawyer to, find out what was going to go on. And the lawyer went to see him, and I told him, he's mentally ill, he's psychotic. And the lawyer went, and he said to me, there's nothing wrong with your son, he's okay. And I said, really? We went to see him, and he actually, he had been taking this medical marijuana for like 4 months and exhibiting these signs of psychosis. We went to the jail, and he was fine. After 24 hours of not using marijuana, he was himself, basically. So I thought, when they tell you that this is a disease and it should not be law enforcement that deal with people, it should just be the health providers that deal with addicted people, it's really not going to work, because the psychiatrist couldn't deal with him. He was too out of control. There's some cases where the only people that are going to be able to deal with a person who's in an out-of-control, addicted situation is law enforcement, unfortunately.
Between law enforcement and the persistent efforts of his family, Dr. Brown's son was able to finally stop using drugs and graduate from college. Dr. Brown, however, is aware that the battle is not over. Anytime he's exposed to a drug-accessible environment, he's in danger of relapsing. On August 21, 2018, the California State Senate passed a measure that would authorize San Francisco to open a facility for injecting illegal drugs, the first of its kind in the nation. 8 days later, a mock injection center was open. One of the critiques of the injection center was that law enforcement would potentially no longer be able to arrest people who possess drugs, because they could simply say they are on their way to the safe injection center. For the Brown family, it means they will have one more thing to watch out for.